Hi guys, welcome to Alpha Developer. Today I want to share some productivity features within Visual Studio that I really like and I thought it would be worth sharing with you. So I hope you've already become aware of these, but if you're new to programming within Visual Studio, you'll find them really useful, and especially if you've been programming for a long time, you may want to just refresh on it, and maybe you left Visual Studio and want to get back in the game, as they say. So, what I want to touch on today is the using code snippets within Visual Studio. So I just want to demonstrate those. I'm going to explore a bit on bookmarks and also on task lists. So hopefully this video will take about 5-10 minutes of your time. So I'm going to make a start on the code snippets. So what are code snippets? Basically, code snippets are small blocks of reusable code that you can insert into your code file, such as like here I've got the form 1 selected, and let's say I want to insert a code snippet, and you can do it through multiple ways within Visual Studio, and I'll show you one or two of these ways. So one of the most easiest is that you will actually automatically start to see it is when you start typing code. So let's say I start typing the word try. Now we know try and catch are error handling techniques within Visual Studio, within C#, and most of the other languages within the Visual Studio. And what you can do is, if you want to insert this piece of code snippet, you can already see it says try, code snippet for try catch, and then it says tap twice to insert the try snippet. So of course when you try and double click it, it won't insert it. So the only way to actually insert this is, again, if I type try, is to double tab, press the tab key twice. So if I press that twice, and you can see now I can put in my own exception in here, and the code is pretty much, the template is written for me. So that's really useful in terms of code snippets, and you can for example do the if code snippet as well. So if I double tab on here, you can see it's created the if one. I think there is else there. So it just inserts these kind of useful code snippets, and there you go, if else statement quickly created within Visual Studio with very little typing. Again, is to help you improve your productivity and help you code faster with these kind of things, and also put the curly brackets in for you, curly braces. So one of the things that you can do is you can find out actually where these code snippets live and find more of them, and learn a bit more about them. So the way you do that is, I believe that's under tools, and within here you've got something called the code snippets manager, so down here, and of course you can use this shortcut key Control K, Control B. So if I click onto this, what you will get is you'll get a screen, for example which language it is. So C# code snippets there. You can get some, if I leave the basic ones in here, you'll see like the one, for example the try one lives under code patterns, and then it lives under error handling, and then it lives under try and catch in there. And there you go. So this is, so the next thing I want to talk about is bookmarks, and these are really useful in terms of managing your code and your progress. So what I mean by that is let's say you are asked by your manager to quickly pop into a meeting within the next 5 minutes, and you go, oh crap, I've got to finish this piece of code off before I go. And you go, well, you haven't got time to finish off the code, so what do? You create a bookmark. Or let's say you had a long day at work, you're finishing up, there's one problem you can't solve. So how do you remember that you will look at this the next day? And again, believe me, after working in programming for a long time, you will forget what you intended to do the next day. It's just so much going on, and as programmers, as software engineers, we know the issues. We know we have a memory that will forget. There's so much going on in terms of coding, in terms of trying to remember stuff. So the next bit I will show you is really useful in remembering where you left off. So bookmarks. The way you can add bookmarks, there's two ways of doing it, but I'll show you the shortcut way. You press Control K, Control K, and there you go. You've got a bookmark there. So let's say I didn't like this color, for example, and I have to rush home. I can't be dealing with this right now. I will look at it tomorrow, and that's a bookmark added there for you. Okay, if I press Control K again, that takes it off. If I press Control K twice, do you see? It adds it and it takes it off. So that's really useful. So the other way you can do it is if you wanted to see your bookmarks now, you can go to View, and then within here you can go to the Bookmarks window there. So that's that bit, and if I click that in there, you will see the bookmark appear there. So if I scroll down the code, next day I could turn up, I could just click on move to the bookmark, and there you go, it's moved to the bookmark. Again, there's a shortcut key, Control K, Control Shift N. Okay, so there you go. So that's the bookmarks. Now, okay guys, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is you might not notice is you've got this bookmark in here, and it shows you the line number. But what might be useful is actually leave myself a bit of note as to what I want to do. So what you can do is you can actually, if it's not easy to spot, is you can right click on this and you are able to rename the bookmark. So I could come in here and say change the color in here. There you go, and I have just renamed that bookmark, and that's really handy for me. When I come back, I will know you know, what this bookmark is about, what was I intending to do within here. So I could leave myself a small note. Of course, the other thing that you can do is you can create folders. I doubt you will use this often, but I will show you anyway. So you could color changes, for example, and then you change the color. If I rename this to green, let's say, and I can drag this within here, and you can see these are the bookmarks, and you can turn them on and off using that. And then you can of course go to these here. So I could add another bookmark in here, Control K, Control K, and that bookmark's added in there. And I could change again, just rename that and call it change color to red. Okay, so yeah, so again I could drag this within this folder. So let me just drag this up. So now these are my two bookmarks in there that are visible, and I could again delete them, rename them, and enable them in here. Okay, so I hope you found this useful. So guys, next thing I want to talk about is another feature. Let's say bookmarks are great for short term. You can use them to get back to your work where you left off the previous day, or before lunch, or before you got interrupted by a meeting. But the next one is in terms of accessing a piece of code again and again. Let's say you're building up a function and you have to build that up over several iterations, and you have to keep on adding new things as you develop other parts of the project. So let's say you want to get back to this piece of code very quickly again and again. What you can do is you can add it to a task list. And for example, let's say I was building here, let's say perform some sort of validation function in there, and some sort of validation, and you want to be able to add new pieces of statements and code lines within here, and you want to get back to it again and again. What you can do is press Control K, press Control H, and that what I will do is it will create a code shortcut for you as indicated here. So that's a code shortcut, and then you can get back to this piece again and again. And the way you do that is there's another window called task list. So if I go view within there, and you can click the task list there, and there you go. And this piece here, so again, if I scroll down, I can double click on it, and it will quickly take me to, even if I'm in another file, let's say I click on this, and it will take me back to that place, which is really handy if you are especially building up a function and you're going to add to it over a number of days, and this is a common place that you access that information. What you probably didn't know from this task list is it can do much more than that. And you've probably seen this used by other programmers, but I just want to sort of demonstrate these additional functionality within Visual Studio that you probably are not aware of when you're a beginner. So let's say now let's do it in another place. Let's say I found a better way to set colors, or there's a more dynamic way to do them, but I haven't got the time to do it now, but maybe in the future I want to change, let the user pick the colors, for example. So what I can do is I can add a comment, and then I can add the words to do, and these are basically what you might think of them as tokens within Visual Studio. So you can actually define these tokens yourself. So let's say you've got to do at the minute. So if I type in to do, okay, let user pick the color in the future, let's say, yeah, or for example, just as an example I'm showing you this, and you'll see as soon as I've added that, down here you've got a to-do list there now, and what you can do is you can then quickly filter to all the to-dos, and you can mark them off as you go. And you can see there's no bookmark, there's no shortcut icon there, because this is what Visual Studio calls a task list. So the idea of task list is these are the things that you need to do in the future, and you just haven't got a time. So the next thing, so as you saw there, that's created. So the next one I want to talk about is you can also create other ones here. So if I scroll down and add another one, and these are some of the other tokens that you can use. For example, I could do a hack, and I can type in use new shorter syntax in here, and what I will do is you can see here is added the hack one in there, and that's really useful. So in terms of adding more tokens in here, so let's say now you want to create your own, let's say the project related. So what you can do is you can go to tools, and you can go to options, and then you can go to task list within here, and you can actually add new ones in there. So hack is in there, to do is in there, undone. So let's say we want to add new one in within here. What you can do is come in here and type in Stephen, for example, in there. And now if I put that as high priority, maybe Stephen is your senior manager and he's or senior developer, and he's asked you to change something, so you can add Stephen's recommendation, for example. If I click add in there, click OK, and now if I add another one, let's say here, and if I type in Stephen, and then I can type in do this like this, and if I click away, and you can see it's now got the priority in there, and that means you can now within here group by, for example, priority, and you can see it's gone high priority for the one that Stephen has suggested in there. So that's hopefully really useful for you. I hope you found this really useful, and stay awesome, and I will see you again next week. Take care. Bye.